Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that an institution is the lengthened shadow of one man. Today, of course, I hope he would say one man or one woman. But Simmons really is the lengthened shadow, first of Joan as the first alumna chair, and then of Linda, who succeeded her and who's been a trustee now for close to 30 years.
I went to Simmons because a friend of ours was a librarian in Amherst, Mass., and he thought I should be a librarian.
Junior year, of course, it's when they run for class officers, and she was running for president.
When I was to give my speech against the two other candidates, I lost my voice. It must have been fright. Someone read it. I still got elected.
We knew she was going to be a leader even in those days.
In the English department, my freshman year, I had Larry Langer.
A vivaciousness and enthusiasm, an absolute passion for learning.
And I can remember walking out of his classes, and we would look at each other and say, that was amazing.
Yeah, she had this kind of internal spark and knew how to ignite it and to keep it lighted and to keep on going. And that's exactly what she did.
Throughout Simmons history, women in the undergraduate college and women and men in the graduate schools, Simmons students like you and like me have come here to open their minds and create a better future for themselves and for others.
When I was a student, there wasn't a woman who was head of the corporation.
Having Joan assume the chair of the Board of Trustees at Simmons, I think, was probably one of the most historic moments in this college's history.
When Joan assumed that role, for me, remembering the past, I just thought that was so wonderful.
I was terrified. I didn't want to take it on. They'd never had a woman. But Bill Holmes twisted my arm.
She was a magnificent chair.
She will listen to the conversation, and she will ask the very question that will move us ahead.
And of course, she set standards which have been followed ever since.
She gave me opportunities for leadership in the board, and then encouraged me to chair, following her.
Linda pushed the envelope.
Get, Simmons to stop and look at itself.
And I remember that one of the first board meetings that she chaired, at the end of the meeting, she turned to us and said, now I want to benchmark how effective we are as a board. How effective was this board meeting?
I'm a very, very strong believer in continuous improvement.
And we sort of sat back and looked at her stunned.
The first time? That's interesting.
And she was right. We should have been evaluating our own effectiveness as a board, but it was classic Linda.
I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Linda Kotzen-Horeski.
Linda's great strength for us, among others, has been to help us develop strategic partnerships and alliances.
For your invaluable work on behalf of Simmons College.
And to connect Simmons to a world we wouldn't be able to enter without Linda knocking on the door and then opening it for us.
The Committee of 200 is probably the most influential women's group in the nation. She has introduced the Committee of 200 to Simmons and really to the School of Management.
And for bringing respect and recognition to your alma mater as this distinguished alumna.
That's brought the college attention and publicity.
Dr. Shelley Goodgold, Associate Professor of Physical Therapy at Simmons College in Boston, conducted the study.
Zachary Abuza is an Assistant Professor of Political Science at Simmons College.
Simmons Graduate School of Management in Boston is the only business school in the world that's designed specifically for women.
We once did a study of Simmons in the media, and we found the most common mention was in obituaries.
And on a personal note, I had to send a little rah, rah, rah to Simmons College, my alma mater, just down the street.
And that's not true anymore.
Joining us from Boston is the former U.S. Ambassador to Yemen, Charles Dunbar.
Certainly the entire Warburg chair affair. It's very much Joan's idea.
He's now Warburg Professor of International Relations at Simmons College.
And the effect on the college has been profound.
With us now to talk about that, Charles Dunbar, former U.S. diplomat in Afghanistan and foreign policy expert at Simmons College in Boston.
Joan has given us a voice in international relations that is larger than it would have been by far had she not done what she chose to do.
It's brought attention to Simmons. I have the students come up to me and thank me for this. They say it's the most wonderful thing that ever happened to them. And so it's very gratifying.
Joan is a Simmons treasure. She's an icon. She's a mentor and a role model for me.
I don't think I'm that good to have been a mentor, but I'm just older.
She's the most loyal, dedicated, committed, conscientious alum any institution could ever imagine having.
I have great respect for Linda. I think she's wonderful. I was very proud to have her succeed me.
The quintessential alum trustee.
I think she's one of the best things that ever happened to Simmons.
We have several firsts.
I think Simmons College is where it is because of the likes of Joan and Linda. We are a leadership institution for women.
Linda and Joan are very different, but their impact has been extraordinary.
Watch out, world. Here comes Simmons.
It's getting better and better.
What would Simmons be like without them? We might not have a college center.
Isn't this wonderful?
It is gorgeous.
By being so generous herself, I think she has over the years encouraged others to give to the best of their ability.
We wouldn't have the orientation towards being responsive to the needs of students and to faculty and staff, which Linda has developed.
As you acquire your independent livelihood, remember that you too have the power to lift others as you climb.
It's like, it's a wonderful life, and where would we be without George having touched so many people?
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you, Linda.
There were many times in the course of my career that I was uniquely challenged. And those times that I would think about how the two of them handled some of the challenges in the meetings. I feel as though they're my angels.
Oh my God, this is hard. I just want to tell these people they're wonderful.
God bless.